What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 40, and we start today's episode off with Hector Bellerin coming to us and asking for a new contract. He wants a wage increase, and who knows, maybe he'll get one as he's the first team right back. And also Wales coming to us and said, would you manage our nation? We got Gareth Bale here, always worth trying, but I was like, nah, I'll leave it, because obviously with this series we don't need to manage any international job offers whatsoever other than Spain. Spain is the only national team that is worth considering, as obviously all the players we're going to be buying are going to be Spanish. So yeah, not really bothered about any other international offers, and it's good to know we are getting them more frequently. I mentioned this in the last episode, we're getting quite a few in quick succession, but obviously we're still holding out for the Spain job as it will match the series aims. And hopefully, touch wood, we're in our third season now, hopefully touch wood that in the fourth, fifth or possibly sixth season we will get an offer from Spain. Otherwise I might have to buy it from the catalogue, which I don't really want to do, but as I mentioned before, that the whole point of this series is to develop players for the club which are Spanish, so we can dominate European football and domestic football with the club, and also dominate on an international level with obviously the national team, which would be Spain. So yeah, hopefully they will come in the future, but for the time being it's just nice to know we are getting offers to show we are good enough to manage at an international level. But regardless, take on Almeria for the first of 3 games today away from home in La Liga, and of course winning our last game was really important after 3 losses out of 4. And coming into this game, well, I was really delighted because 17 minutes in we took the lead, and the goal came through Óliver Torres. Now this guy, I mentioned, we signed him for £2.6 million. He's on 60 grand a week, a huge earner here, the highest earner by far, 40 grand a week more than our second highest earner, which is Albentosa, and he hasn't really done anything since coming in. No goals, no assists, nothing really to get you off your seat. But there, finally he gets his first goal for the club, and it has finally come now, and hopefully he'll get a few more in quick succession as well and go into a bit of good form. So Óliver Torres gets his first goal for the club, and in the 40th minute here, Sergio Buenacasa gets played forward, and he almost scored, but unfortunately for us the shot went wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. So good attempt there by our number 9, but it was still 1-0. And 11 minutes after the restart, Keiko's on the ball again, winning it back for us, sliding it through towards Buenacasa. He beats the last man, Dos Santos. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but it's the goalkeeper who comes out on top, saving the one-on-one shot there as I tried to trick him, and it was still 1-0. So still a goal up in this game, but we were playing much better than the home side and looking very strong. But in the 87th minute here, Almeria almost grabbed themselves an equalising goal. Sanchez down his right hand side finding Michel. Michel plays it inside, and Edgar's strike is well saved by Ruben Blanco, and the ball is cleared into touch, and it was how the game would finish as well. So Óliver Torres can celebrate, he's got his first goal for the club, and we do indeed get the 3 points. So a very good win for us, back-to-back wins for the first time in quite a while, and yeah, a very decent performance as well. We did play much better than Almeria, probably should have scored 1 or 2 more goals as well. Had my finishing been better with Buenacasa, we probably would have tucked in 1 of those 2 good opportunities, but the most important thing was the 3 points, getting 2 wins on the trot, and yeah, good performance. And I'm so pleased that Óliver Torres did score in that game as well, because you have no idea how frustrating he's been to play with, because I just haven't been able to find out where his best position is. And when you have a player who's on 60 grand a week at this team, he's earning almost as much as the whole team put together himself per week. It's like he has to perform, like he has to do the job. This isn't like a club who can just afford to give out 60 grand a week salaries to every player. No, he has taken up a huge amount of our budget. He was such an expensive transfer, despite the fact it was still considered a bargain. He has to start performing, he has to start providing for his team, either getting goals or assists. And I know I'm controlling the guy and everything, but I just haven't been able to work out how to use him very well. But in that game he did play very well, and he deserved to get his first goal for the club. So it was really important for me and for the team as well. So a good win there, very pleased to get the win away at Almeria. And the following game was against CD Nacional here, so a massive game in the Europa League coming in to match day 3. I've said I do believe that it's probably going to be a battle between us and Lille to see who qualifies for the knockout rounds, with Roma topping the group and who will finish second between us and the French side. So coming into this game, we really could do with maximum points. 3 points here in this game would be a huge help for us. And the first chance fell on the 41st minute here. Alvaro takes on Junior and crosses the ball in. Keiko goes for the header, it's blocked, it comes back to him, wins the header again, and the goalkeeper tips it behind and keeps it 0-0. In the 72nd minute, it was still goalless, so as Keiko again wins us the ball ball back and finds Ander Kepa. He takes on his man and beats him with a nice turn of agility. Rolls the ball through towards Sergio Buenacasa. Really good chance here as he cuts past Rodriguez, gets himself inside, finds Concha. Concha finds Granero, and the shot is blocked and turned behind for a corner. So still goalless in this game. And with a minute to spare, it was still 0-0. Juanpe gets on the ball for us, our centre-back, and finds Concha. It's a lovely ball over the top towards Christian Fernandez, off the bench. He's got the pace to beat the last man. He goes through, but from a tight angle, the goalkeeper was always odds-on favourite to make the save. And he did. And the final score was 0-0. It was a very, very poor game, and I have to apologise for that. It was just so hard to create anything. CD Nacional literally just passed the ball around, and I could not get the ball off them. It was really difficult, but it was one of those games, AI on legendary, and it was just typical really. It was a really frustrating game for us, but the draw was not a bad result. You know, the draw isn't a bad result at all, but we really could have done with a win there. Obviously now halfway through the group, 4 points gained from a possible 9. That's not bad. That's pretty much... to be honest, that's pretty much what I expected. I thought that's exactly what would happen. I thought we'd probably win the game against Nacional, probably draw against Lille and lose to Roma. In the end, we obviously beat Lille and drew against Nacional, but 4 points from 9, it's not too bad. And, you know, with half a group to go, the worry is, though, we've got to face Lille away in France and obviously Roma away in Italy. That's the huge worry for us, because I'm pretty sure we'll lose both of those games, which means we'll have to beat Nacional and hope that Roma can also beat Lille as well. But, you know, we'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can pull off a shock and get ourselves through this Europa League group. But regardless of what does happen in the last 3 games, it has been a really good experience for us to play in Europe in just our 3rd season. And touch wood, hopefully, cross your fingers, we'll be there next year as well. But still, we take on Malaga for the 3rd and final game of today's episode here as Malaga come to El Sardinero. Obviously looking to get ourselves back to winning ways after that very disappointing draw in midweek. But, you know, with games coming thick and fast right now, we keep having to rest players. And I've mentioned this before, but this team has really bad issues with stamina, and I know when you're playing with a lower rated side, it is going to be typical that you will have players whose physical ratings aren't the best, but the stamina for some of these players, Madran is a 50 rated for stamina, Óliver Torres 55, Buenacasa 55, Aguza 55, just naming a few that have really low stamina, which means that it's very hard to play them week in, week out, let alone playing them in midweek as well. But regardless, coming into this game against Malaga, the first chance fell early on and Ochoa made a very good save, and in the 36th minute here, as Ochoa's off his line, Aguza tries to beat him, but unfortunately the Mexican goalkeeper makes a good stop and Malaga get the ball away. But the first half was dominated by us really. We had quite a few chances in this game, but on the stroke of half time, Malaga did have a chance down his left hand side. Portillo getting past Albentosa way too easily, chipping the ball inside, and Finn Bogson's header, not sure I pronounced that, hits the bar, and eventually we get the ball away. So the Icelandic striker couldn't find the back of the net, and eventually it was cleared. So still Racing Santander 0, Malaga 0, but in the 68th minute here, Jose Posa's on the ball and finds Marian Schwarzer. Schwarzer, our left back, goes down the left hand side, and what a cross that is by our number 3 out of the academy. Absolutely incredible cross by Marian Schwarzer. He's been our left back since the start of last season, of course, after promoting him out of the academy. He's actually grown pretty nicely, despite the fact his potential isn't the best. But his crossing, despite his crossing stat being pretty low, is really good. He seems to whip in balls fantastically well with that left peg. That's a brilliant cross, and Mariano starting up top, I gave him a chance, and what a header that is, right into the bottom corner. No chance for Ochoa, who was in good form, and it is 1-0 to Racing Santander. In the 77th minute, Ruben Blanco makes a very good save there at his near post to deny the Malaga player, and it is still 1-0. And from that, we throw the ball out and go on the break. It's a pretty slow counter-attack, as you'd expect with this team, with not too much pace, but eventually, as Mariano gets on the ball here, he lays it off down the left-hand side towards Aguza. Aguza then eventually backheels to Jose Pozo. Pozo back to Aguza, crosses the ball in. Fernandez wins the header, but he goes over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So still Racing Santander 1, Malaga 0, but we were playing better in this game. We were deservedly in the lead, but Malaga, a good team, they were keeping on the pressure, and later on they could have grabbed themselves the equalising goal. The cross comes in here, and as the ball comes to number 31, he has a clear strike at goal, and he puts the ball wide with the last kick of the game. And really, from that range, with no defensive pressure, you have got to at least hit the target, but he doesn't. It goes wide, and we hold on for the win. So Racing Santander 1, Malaga 0. That is the final score. We get ourselves a big 3 points here at El Sardinero. Only lost once here this season. We only lost twice here last year in all competitions. So trying to make this ground a fortress again, and that was a very, very good win to show for it. Following that, Belgium coming to us and ask us to manage their nation, and we say no. And we also give Hector Bellerin a contract as he asked for one to start the episode. And that is going to end the episode. So as always, a big thank you for watching the video, guys. I really do hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like, as it is much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.